Hey viewers, playing Fallout New Vegas again in 2023 with a new computer is great, since with just a handful, okay, more than a handful, of bug fix and stability mods from the Viva New Vegas guide, you can get yourself a near perfect experience with an ultra high frame rate, almost no stuttering, and practically instant loading times. But you might start to miss some of the quality of life improvements and game mechanics that Bethesda introduced in Fallout 4 and their later games. And I'm not talking about Radiant quests and the dialogue wheel. That garbage can go die in a fire. I mean the very helpful modern features like a dynamic crosshair, sprinting, quest markers, hit markers, and a quick loot menu. The one-stop shop to add all of these features and then some to Fallout New Vegas is Jam, just Assorted mods. Simply download this one mod and configure it to your liking. Personally, I prefer having hit markers and objective markers turned off, and luckily this mod allows me to do just that. Entire modules can be disabled with a single click. The quick loot feature in particular is a huge time saver. Even if you're a purist, I'd recommend at least enabling that module. It's frankly amazing how much this one little mod does to level the playing field between Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 4. We're off to a great start. When it comes to VATS, I definitely prefer time being completely stopped like in Fallout 3 and New Vegas rather than heavily slowed down like Fallout 4. Unfortunately for those who like how it is in Fallout 4, I couldn't find any mods that allow time to pass during VATS's target selection phase. Time freezing might be hard-coded, but as a slow-motion VATS alternative you could try using the bullet time module from the Jam mod I just covered. One neat thing you can do in Fallout 4 but not in New Vegas is canceling your attacks in VATS after confirming them. This is incredibly useful when your target moves out of reach and you want to avoid wasting ammo. Luckily, canceling out of VATS is a tweak from the Stewie Tweaks mod. Just install that, search for VATS in the Tweaks menu, select VATS exit key, and the next time you launch the game you'll be able to use right-click or tab to cancel out of VATS, just like Fallout 4. Another great feature in Fallout 4 is the extensive weapon upgrade system. Despite New Vegas having a lot more weapons in total, Fallout 4's weapons usually have dozens of possible configurations, while weapons in New Vegas can only have up to 3 attachments, and most don't even have that many. A lot of weapons can't be modified at all. Now there are mods that give every weapon the maximum possible number of attachments, but up until now we've still had to deal with that stupid 3 attachment limit. Thankfully, after nearly 13 years, just this month a new framework called NVWO Weaponsmith was released, which allows weapons to have up to 16 attachments. You can edit your attachments in real time or at a workbench. Unfortunately, since this mod is so new, there aren't any weapon mods that actually take advantage of it yet. So unless you want to do the hard work of making attachments yourself, this mod won't be of much use to you as of right now. But give it a few more weeks or months, and then this mod will be awesome. Moving on, another feature Fallout 4 has is gun bashing. Honestly, I don't care for gun bashing, I think it disincentivizes melee builds, but you can add it to Fallout New Vegas using the B42 Melee Bash mod. All guns are supported by bashing, and it even uses action points, just like Fallout 4. It also works in third person, and unlike Fallout 4, you aren't locked in place during the third-person bash animation, so this mod's implementation of bashing is better than Fallout 4's. Something Fallout 4 does better than New Vegas is recoil, by actually having recoil. But by using the mod Immersive Recoil, we can fix that. This mod's recoil is affected by your strength stat, and if it's too intense or too weak, you can adjust it to your liking in the MCM. Another great change in Fallout 4 is the lack of pocket reloading. When you switch weapons, the game remembers how much ammo you've expended. That's not the case in Fallout New Vegas, where you can easily skip long reload animations by switching to another hotkeyed weapon and switching back. But with the mod Manual Reload and Ammo Count Memory, this oversight is fixed. Just enable the Ammo Count Memory tweak in the Stewie Tweaks menu. Optionally, you can enable manual reloading too, making it necessary to press the reload key when you run out of ammo. One thing most people can agree on is that radiation was handled much better in Fallout 4 than earlier games. Making radiation limit your maximum health made radiation a persistent danger rather than a minor annoyance. The mod RAD, Radiation is Actually Dangerous, implements a similar radiation limiting your max HP system into Fallout New Vegas, and it works perfectly. As a nice bonus, in hardcore mode, your maximum action points will be drained by starvation and thirst, just like Fallout 4's survival mode. Power armor was also done way better in Fallout 4, and no one can deny that. But the mod Titans of the New West 2.0 brings most of Fallout 4's beneficial power armor changes back to New Vegas, without all the annoying features like fusion cores. The mod has a foam mod installer. Simply select the Jam option if you're using just Assorted mods, which you should be if you're following this guide. With this mod installed, power armor will make you taller, change your footstep sounds, shroud your Pip-Boy, that part's optional, and give you a whole new animation set. The new animations are badass. They're kind of robotic, but in a good way. You'll feel like RoboCop mowing down bad guys. This shit is incredible. The best part is that these new animations use the same skeleton as regular humans, so unlike Fallout 4, there won't ever be animation problems when using custom weapons. Sadly, not all weapon types have been reanimated, so there will be clipping with some weapons, but it's acceptable. The only thing Titans of the New West fails to add is a first-person visor overlay to power armor. Personally, I find these overlays detrimental to my experience, so I don't use them, but for the sake of completeness I'll mention the mod Helmet Overlay, which adds a Project Nevada-style visor overlay to the screen. It comes with a foam mod installer that verifies you have the correct NVSE plugins and asks you whether you want 1K, 2K, or 4K textures. I chose 2K. There's also an option to preload textures. I chose it and noticed no performance degradation on my system. I think this mod's overlays block too much of the screen, and just like Project Nevada, when your headgear gets damaged, there's a cracked glass effect that blocks even more of your screen. Some might call it immersive, I call it annoying. Regardless, some people will enjoy this mod. Next up, we've got two mods that upgrade Fallout New Vegas' movement system. New Vegas only has 4 directional movement, while Fallout 4 has 8 directional movement and 360-degree movement when your weapons are holstered. We can't abide that, so let's bring New Vegas up to par by using the mods Diagonal Movement and 360 Movement. You'll also need the New Vegas Compatibility Skeleton to make these mods play nicely together with Titans of the New West. The improvement is immediately noticeable. This is a small problem, but aiming down sights in Fallout 4 is more pleasant than New Vegas because there's interpolation between the hipfire and ADS animations. In New Vegas, you just snap into Iron Sights mode. It's very jarring. The mod Smooth True Iron Sights Camera fixes this issue completely. It's a subtle but important change. Another improvement Fallout 4 made is to view model inertia, which Fallout New Vegas doesn't have much of. B42 Weapon Inertia is the solution to this. Again, the difference is subtle, but appreciable. One area where Fallout 4 will always beat Fallout New Vegas is the settlement building system. There are mods that let you place objects in New Vegas, hell, you can even do it with console commands, but Fallout 4's Settlement Builder has a grid snapping system, and placing down objects actually makes holes in the nav mesh for NPCs to walk through. That's not possible in New Vegas, so you'll end up with NPCs getting stuck on newly placed objects. The only advantage New Vegas has is the lack of precombines, which makes it possible to delete anything on the map you want, but that doesn't make up for the nav mesh problem. In any case, I'll take a look at the most successful attempts modders have made to add base building to Fallout New Vegas. First up, we've got base building Fallout 4 inspired. This mod is nice and simple. You craft a base building workbench at a regular workbench, and it goes in your apparel menu. Equip it and press E to place it wherever you want. From there, you can go crazy and build whatever you want. Except not really, because there aren't that many objects to build, and the floors and walls and ceilings don't snap together or connect easily like they do in Fallout 4. I'd say this system would be best used to decorate a pre-existing structure or a player home from another mod. It's not all bad though. There's some cool features like turrets that can fight your enemies, although the turrets do flip out sometimes, and a fast travel beacon you can place wherever you want. Overall, this isn't a bad mod, it's just too basic. It really can't hold a candle to Fallout 4's base building system. The next option, on the other hand, is not my cup of tea. Wasteland Defense is a mod I remember from 12 years ago. I didn't like it back then, and I don't like it now. This mod doesn't really let you build your own custom base. Instead, you have to follow a tutorial and place down a bunch of prefabs. You spawn some guards, who inevitably get stuck on the buildings you place, and then fight against raids of enemies. I do wonder if this raid feature influenced Bethesda during Fallout 4's development. Anyways, I played with this for about 20 minutes before becoming soft-locked during a raid. The final enemies didn't spawn in. That was enough for me to know that this mod is just as bad as I remember it being. Lastly, we've got Real-Time Settler. This is another mod abandoned 12 years ago. It has some interesting ideas, but there's so much it doesn't tell you. I tried this mod out for an hour, and I had to spend most of that time trudging through old forums to even get a clue what I was supposed to be doing. First of all, you need to grab this stupid Brahmin from Mojave Outpost and make sure to activate this mod's hardcore mode, because otherwise you can't do anything. Then you select a good location to build, make sure there's trees around, and don't even bother trying to build in DLC areas. This mod was abandoned before all the DLCs came out, and so Zion Canyon's trees aren't recognized as trees. Then you have to build construction sites. You hit them with a hammer to turn them into buildings, so you can spawn NPCs that will get stuck in about 5 seconds. There's a food mechanic I don't quite understand, and a diplomacy mechanic that I understand even less. I tried to max out my relationship with the NCR, and the mod gave me a quest to help defend Nipton and spawned in some NCR rangers to help me. Then the game promptly crashed after spawning in some legionaries to attack. Yeah, I was done with this mod at that point. Honestly, you're a lot better off downloading a player home and living in that than trying to build anything in this game. Maybe I'll do a player homes mod battle at some point, but not right now. Moving on, one game mechanic Fallout 4 added that generated some controversy is legendary enemies and equipment. I don't really care for it. I don't think this system added much to the game, but if you want a taste of it in New Vegas, use the legendary NPCs and weapons mod. This mod will convert a percentage of enemies into legendary enemies, just like Fallout 4. Legendary enemies have extra health and they can mutate, getting all their health back. Every legendary enemy will drop a legendary weapon with a random effect, most of these effects being inspired by Fallout 4's legendary system. Note that legendary armor doesn't exist in this mod, and only base game weapons can be found as legendaries unless you put in the work to add support for modded weapons yourself. Also, due to a bug, respawning enemies keep their legendary stats, even if they aren't legendary anymore, which can make subsequent combat encounters in the same location significantly more difficult. For these reasons, I would hesitate to recommend this mod, but it's up to you at the end of the day. One change I've always been ambivalent about in Fallout 4 is making grenade throwing a hotkey, instead of leaving grenades as separate weapons. I don't see why this needed to change, but in case you want a Grenade Hotkey mod for Fallout New Vegas, I'll look at 2 of them. First, we've got Quick Grenade Hotkey, which sucks. First of all, it doesn't even throw the grenade when you press the hotkey, just switches to it, so you might as well just use your regular hotkeys. Second, the grenade icon clips through the UI, probably because you're meant to use Darnified UI with this. Third, the hotkey doesn't even work half the time. Often it just switches you to your last used weapon. Fourth, it breaks your perspective switch key until you press the grenade hotkey again. So yeah, screw this mod, 4 strikes and you're out. Second, we've got the much better B42 Quickthrow, which works as you'd expect. Apparently this mod uses an invisible NPC to throw the grenade, and sometimes the NPC isn't muted properly and starts screaming, but I've never encountered that bug. Maybe it's rare or only happens in combination with AI mods. Besides that, there's no real problems with this mod, and this is the one you should be using if you really need a quick throw option. Fallout 4 and Fallout 76 added many new chems to the series, and introduced the idea of mixing chems together. The mod Future Fallout chems backports most of these to Fallout New Vegas. The new chems are added to leveled lists via scripted injection, and crafting recipes are added to cooking stations, letting you mix your own chems. I don't have much else to say about this mod. It's pretty good and compatible with just about everything. My only complaints are diluted is misspelled, and changes from the unofficial patch haven't been carried forward. But you can fix all that yourself in 2 minutes in FNV Edit. Alright, that was my guide on upgrading Fallout New Vegas to the standards of Fallout 4. With just a few mods, I'd say we not only matched, but in fact surpassed Fallout 4 in a lot of ways. Not bad for the crappy old Gamebryo engine, huh? So I hope this video helped you out, or at least was a nice trip down memory lane. I bet I really took you back to 2010 with my terrible audio quality. Don't worry, I'll get that fixed eventually. Until next time, viewers. Toodaloo!